What is going on, my people? Let me ask you a question. Do you like beach vacations? Do you like going to tropical environments, laying out in the sun, maybe sipping on your favorite beverage, enjoying paradise? Well, if you do, I'm going to give you a trip of a lifetime in this video, or I'm at least going to give you some fragrances that will take you there because they are so incredible and they've got that beach vacation vibe down to a T. And so even if you can't travel somewhere exotic this summer, these fragrances, to me, I really have a lot of memories associated with fragrance. Fragrances are very emotional for me. And so these are the kind of fragrances that you could smell and just kind of catch the feel of being on the beach even while you are in your office cubicle. So here we go. We're going to get into this list. Before we do, remember to subscribe if you haven't done that. Also consider giving the video a very beachy, tropical like if you like it. And let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite kind of vacation vibes, summer beach fragrance? And we'll compare notes down in the comments section. All right, here we go. I'm going to mention one. This is one of my best rack store finds, probably top 5 ever. This is an English Laundry fragrance, which so many of them are so good for the price if you get the rack store price of like $20 for the big bottle. This is Tahitian Waters by English Laundry. And this is a gorgeous sort of salty tequila, a little bit of coconut, a little bit of lime, I believe it is. It's like something like a margarita mixed with something like Creed's Millesime Imperial. It's got some of that fruitiness, that soft fruitiness mixed with that very distinct kind of tropical vibe. It's an excellent fragrance. It's so very good. There's a little bit of vetiver or muskiness in that adds it a little bit of like a green feel. So super good stuff. I get about 7 hours on this. I know some people complain about performance on English Laundry, but I don't really have that issue with a lot of them. Next up, another one of my favorite summer fragrances. I had the original, the niche original of this, which is like, I don't know, $170 fragrance. The performance was horrible, so I got rid of it and I picked this one up right whenever I saw that it came out. This is Dossier's Aquatic Vanilla, and it's a clone of Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes, which Vanilla Vibes was like revolutionary for me. It was sort of a sweet vanilla gourmand fragrance that was built for the summer. And so it's got that kind of suntan oil kind of a vibe with some vanilla and a little bit of supporting coconut. Gorgeous fragrance, something that I would recommend to anyone who wants to get in that beachy kind of a mood. So again, this is Aquatic Vanilla by Dossier. Incredible performance on this one. Maybe I got a freak bottle, but this is like a 12-hour fragrance on me, whereas the original was like a 3 or 4 hour fragrance on me. All right, next up, we're going to go with this one right here. That is a clone of a Tom Ford fragrance, Porto Neroli by Maison Alhambra, and it is a Neroli Portofino dupe. And this is neroli used in a particular way that is not too dissimilar from that kind of suntan oil solar note vibe in the last fragrance I showed you. But this is a very kind of aquatic neroli fragrance with a very distinct kind of orangey citrus in the opening. But this fragrance gives me the feel of sitting by the water. Every time I spray it, every time I wear it, it has this, I mean, the moment I smell it, it takes me to a place where I am next to blue waters, just like the color of this bottle. Again, this one is Porto Neroli. Next up, this is one that had to be in this list. Some version, of the original or one of the flankers. I've got a couple different versions of this DNA, but this is Fragrance World's dupe of Le Beau, not the parfum. I think it's the EDP, and this is Jean-Gustave Amaze. And this fragrance, it does differ from the Parfum, which I also have, in that this one to me is a little more coconut forward. Parfum is a little more pineapple forward. You've got coconut in this one, then you've got pineapple, then you've got tonka bean. Those are sort of the main notes in this one. It is just tropical paradise vibes all day long. Excellent fragrance, Jean-Gustave Homme Amaze. This next one, I've just got a little, I think it's like a 20-ounce bottle or a 1-ounce bottle of this, but I've been seeing these at the rack store regularly. This is another English laundry fragrance. This one is called Armor or Armoire. Online, this one is often compared to Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. I believe I said that right, but it's the Allure fragrance that smells like lemon meringue pie, like a very fresh take on lemon meringue. And I get that because this is a very fresh fragrance, but there is a sweet lemon, like a gourmand sweet lemon in the opening, and then it's just a very vibrant, fresh citrus fragrance. If you can get this for 20 bucks, this one on me is only about a 5-hour fragrance, but it's so very good. And if you can get it for 20 bucks, you should definitely pick it up. Again, Armoire. This next one is not a 5-hour fragrance. It's probably more like a 10-hour fragrance. This is my favorite flanker of the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue line. This one is Light Blue Forever, which I think is discontinued. There is a Fragrance World dupe now of it, but I do see this one pop up pretty regular still. But this is the Light Blue DNA, that kind of aquatic, citrus, woody, musky base. But this one has a very realistic, fresh grapefruit, like a rindy, juicy grapefruit, very photorealistic in the opening. If you like the sound of that, you'll probably love this. If you don't want something that makes you smell like a fresh cut grapefruit, get another one of the flankers, but this stuff is amazing and it lasts forever. And maybe that's why it's called Forever, right? Light Blue Forever. All right, this next one, this is one that I guess a lot of people sort of knew about as a mall fragrance. I had never heard of it until I started researching kind of beachy vacation fragrances a few years ago, and I found this one right here, which I love. This is Hollister SoCal, and this is a vanilla coconut fragrance, but it's definitely a masculine vanilla coconut fragrance. It doesn't smell like your wife's lotion. This smells almost like leather with vanilla and coconut. I think it's some sort of resins instead of leather, but there's an almost sort of like rubbery kind of smell. I get something similar in Le Male Elixir, that similar kind of leathery, sort of rubbery vibe. I don't know what that is. I know this has got benzoin, it's got vanilla, it's got coconut as well, but to me it's a gorgeous fragrance. It's pretty unique and impressive to be a Hollister fragrance. I'll tell you that much. Again, Hollister SoCal, and this stuff is really cheap right now. You can get 100 ml for like 40 bucks, which is super cool. All right, this next one we'll go with really a classic in the community. I don't know when this one came out, but I know I picked it up a couple years ago, and it was all over the place back then, and it's still in rack stores everywhere. This is Tommy Bahama's St. Bart's, and they did a series of island fragrances, St. Bart's and St. Kitts and so on, and St. Martinique, but this one's the most popular, and it is a tequila, I think lime coconut, tequila, lime coconut, and musk. And the musk is sort of a woody kind of a musk. So this one you get those sort of boozy sweet notes pretty strong for the first couple hours, and then it settles down into kind of a lightly scented musk for another couple hours, and then it's pretty well gone. It's about a 4-hour fragrance. It's super cheap though, $20 for this. I think it's 120 ml. And you can get it all over the rack stores. This is very much a tropical, by the beach, or at least laying out by the pool kind of fragrance. There's a reason it's so loved, St. Bart's. Next up, we will go with this one right here. This is a fairly new pickup for me. I haven't had an opportunity to wear it as much because I've had so many new fragrances coming in, but this one really impressed me whenever I got it. This is a clone of Bulgari's Aqua Amara. This is Pandora Scents Amorist, and Aqua Amara means bitter waters, and this one has sort of a bitter seashore accord. I know that sounds weird, but it's like seaweed and salt water is sort of a distinctive of this fragrance, but then there is this orange, this very discernible citrus, and after this sat for a couple weeks, that citrus in the opening, whereas it was very fleeting when I first got it, it now hangs on a lot longer and it flavors the whole fragrance. But you've got to be able to imagine the smell of the seashore with seaweed mixed with a very fresh aquatic orange, and that's what you're going to get. And if that sounds good, because it is unusual, it's interesting, then pick this one up right here, Pandora Amarist. And then finally, number 10. This one is another clone. This is a Lattafa clone of 1 Million Parfum. 1 Million Parfum was very interesting in that they took that kind of solar notes approach. It reminded me the first time I smelled it of Juliet Has a Gun vanilla vibes, like the one I talked about earlier. But this one, rather than being very vanilla dominant, it's got some other very interesting characteristics. This is Lattafa Fakar Gold or Fakar Extrait. And they basically take that solar notes kind of a vibe and they add tuberose, which will remind you of rose. And then they add a good bit of sweetness. I think it's from a benzoin maybe. And then there is some spiciness. So you really get something that smells not too dissimilar from 1 Million Elixir, which was a rose vanilla fragrance, but they just take a whole bucket of sunshine and smash it into this one, and you get a slightly spiced suntan oil kind of summer vibe. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So again, Lattafa Fakar, and this one is a compliment beast, just as this one is one of my most complimented fragrances of the past year. So there's been 10. Let me know your picks down in the comments below. Remember to give a very tropical, wild beach vacation click to the like button if you liked the video, and subscribe if you liked it. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.